Debbie Roach on with us and Heather Giacalone. They will also just be taking some, so they'll brief as well. So we are, as an introduction to our group, we are the software engineering group at Hill Air Force Base. That is in Utah, northern Utah. And we're the 309th, so we're just one group at Hill. We focus mostly on obviously software, computer science, electrical engineers, computer engineers. Those are the things that we're looking for. I know I had a cool video, as you can see on this next slide. Oh, maybe. No, it won't. It's not responding to me. Oh, there we go. So I had a cool video, but it's not really playing very well and you can't hear it. But Deb is in a little bit, she's going to go over all the really cool projects that we have going on here at Hill Air Force Base. And I know that you guys come from a really great state in Colorado. So, but we have some cool stuff in Utah too. A lot of the same things that you can do in Colorado, you can do in Utah. So hopefully if you came here, it would not be too foreign for you. We have a lot of cool stuff. And how familiar are you guys with Utah? I mean, I know we're close, but there's, a lot of people have, don't know much about Utah. Are you guys familiar with Utah? Have you been to Utah?
I've actually spent quite a bit of time out in Utah over the past few years. I was part of a drum corps out there called the Battalion.
Okay.
Part of it. So I spent 2 out of the last 3 summers there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So it's not too different than Colorado. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's beautiful. People are really nice. I think it's a lot cleaner than Colorado, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, good. There's a good plug. So, hopefully you won't feel like you're moving to a foreign land. We are, sorry, this is not moving very well for me. Oh, oops. There we go. Okay, so in our group, there's a lot of different groups on Hill. We are, again, the software group, which is SWEG, Software Engineering Group. We love our acronyms in the military, so that we're SWEG. We have about 64% of the people at Hill Air Force Base are civilians. So only about 1/4 of the people here are actual military. So we have a huge civilian population. There are a few contractors, and we employ roughly 20 to 24,000 people total. So it is the largest Utah employer. So we have a huge impact on the Utah economy, whether that's directly through jobs or indirectly through services, construction, all that kind of stuff. We're very stable. Hill Air Force Base, we just got the big F-35 project, so Hill is not going anywhere. We have a huge group. I am going to let Deb go ahead and take the next few slides and just let you know about our workload and all the cool projects. We have about 100 projects, so she's going to kind of share those with you so you would have an idea of what you could work on at Hill Air Force Base. So Deb, I'll let you take it and then just tell me when you want to go to the next slide.
Okay, thank you, Cami. Hello, everybody. My name is Debbie, and I do work for the 309th Software Engineering Group at Hill Air Force Base. I'm going to say, Cami, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, if for some reason my internet, I'm kind of having a day like Sue. If I just go blank, will you or Heather just jump in for me? It's not because anything's wrong with me, so I don't want anybody to think that. I've just been getting kind of splotchy every now and then. So let me go ahead, guys. We are so glad to have you here. So what I wanted to talk to you, just like what Cami was saying, about our projects that we have here. So in the 309 Software Engineering Group, we actually No one else does what we do. And I want to stress that because we are a full service development and maintenance organization and recognized as a world leader in the cradle to grave support systems. And this can include anything from hardware engineering, software engineering, cybersecurity, cloud security, data management, and much, much more. And I'm hoping that's already getting you exciting because I really said some really cool things in that. And now with that much more, I want to take some time and actually look more into what is that much more. So Cami, can you go ahead and give me the next slide, please? You can't hear me?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So here's our current workload, guys. So one of our biggest things ever that we have is our F-16 operational flight program. And this is a $455 million program that's fielded to produce major capability upgrades on the F-16. Most of you, well, all of you, I'm pretty sure, are younger than the F-16. And to me, that's what makes this one so incredible, because this plane, when it first came on to our system in 1979, and how it might still look like the same from the outside since then, but what we do in the software engineering group is we have changed the inside of that F-16 so much that if I took a pilot who was still flying the F-16 in 79 and let them take a look at it now, it would seem like a totally different aircraft for that. So we do a whole bunch of different things with it. We work with on their scanned array radar, their increased missile range, both air to surface and air to air, because that's what kind of fighter this is. And there's maybe about 42 other kind of projects that we do just with that. This is 100% organic in-house development when we're working on the F-16. We have mission planning software, which we work with the F-16 and the A-10. We develop pre and in-flight mission planning capabilities for both of these two aircrafts with their weapon systems. And again, that include like their flight, their weapons delivery, their target area, and so forth with it. Automatic test systems, your space and command, which you guys, and I guess space can command, control, communications, and intelligence software. Boy, that's a whole bunch of stuff there. And I know I'm talking to you guys in Colorado about space because you guys are sitting in one of the hot seats right there in your whole state. In fact, when we were out there to visit, that was definitely clear of your proud connection with this community and what you guys do with that. We work with the F-35s, the F-22s, and GBSD, all pretty hot, new kind of stuff coming out right here. With that, your GBSD is your ground-based strategic deterrent. And what that is that's going to actually replace the Minuteman III. And we're projecting hopefully around 2027. So just like what Cami was telling you early, our workloads are here for quite some time with that. We like to think on some of these projects that we have, we kind of call them a legacy project. And what we're basically meaning for that is not only will you be working on that and have job security, which is so important about job security, especially when we're going through our current situation right now, right? I think some of you were even saying you even had job offers maybe before the coronavirus hit, and now you're not too sure what's going on. You haven't heard from your company. We've heard other people saying that they had one and they were told from their company not. With us, we are still working all the way straight through this. We have not had to lay anybody off. Some of us are able to telework. Some of us are still going in and doing their coding, whatever it needs to take. So our legacy programs on here, that means that you will be working on this, your children can be working on this, and even your grandchildren could be working on this. It's 50 years worth of work on some of these. And just like I said, with the GBSD, we're planning on having these, hopefully, all replacing the Minuteman III by 2027. So that just gives you an eye there. The F-22 Raptor, how cool is this? It's a 5th generation fighter. Nothing else like it in the whole world. Superior, the best thing ever for air to air. A little bit different than our F-35 that we have. F-35, we do have more of those still producing. We work with those with our allies so that they are also having the F-35s. And the F-35, the differences for that is it's kind of a multi-purpose aircraft fighter for us. And it can do either air to air and air to ground. So it's a little bit of the difference between the F-35 and F-22, because sometimes people are always wondering, well, what's the difference? They both came out about the same time. They're both pretty incredible aircraft fighters. So what's the difference? There's more than that, but that's pretty good for this purpose. Our future for our workloads are looking at unmanned aerial vehicles. And this gets really exciting. We have been using those in the Air Force. So it's not like we're saying that we've never used those yet. We have used those for like electronic attacks, drone strikes, communications relay, combat search and rescue, and delivery. But we plan on actually even increasing that workload that we will be doing with the UAVs as the future comes. Do I have any questions so far on any of that? No? You guys are doing awesome. All right, Cam, next slide, please.
Are you still with us, Deb?
Yeah, next slide.
It's on the next slide. Are you not seeing that?
Nope, I'm not, babe. Sorry, that's why I was just like, oh, okay.
What are you just seeing the slide before?
Yeah, I just see this, the software engineer. Oh, now I see it. Thank you, Cammie. I see it now.
You must just have a delay on it.
I told you, girl, it's just been my connection all day today. Okay, guys, so software languages and tools. Sometimes when we look at this slide, it seems to be overwhelming. So let me put your mind at ease right now and tell you, no, we do not absolutely expect you to know every single one of these languages. And that's me just being nice, because when I look at that, it's like, holy smoke, that's a lot to do. The purpose of this is to show you, though, the different kinds of software languages and tools that we do use in here, just for you to get. And hopefully when you're looking at this slide as I'm talking, you can say, gotcha, Deb, Cam, and Heather. Yep, I've got that one. Yep, I've learned about this one, use this one. Yeah, don't like that language, but love this language. And we're hoping that gives you an idea. The reason why we do that is because on here, there's a couple of different reasons why. One, each project might be using a different kinds of language, right? In fact, some of our programs, even if you're involved with them, sometimes they even do a little bit of their own creating of a language just because it's so unique or it has to be so classified. My biggest thing is that I always look when I talk to people such as yourselves is, you know, the basic thing what we're looking for is software language is the same as a foreign language, right? And people who can pick up a foreign language, if you are very efficient at one foreign language and you're very good at it, it's usually, and it has been proven scientifically, that those people are more adaptable at being able to pick up a second foreign language, a third foreign language, because that mind in itself is just coded to be able to do so. So when we're talking to people such as yourself, we know that you have some of these languages that you're familiar with, that you really like, but we know that because of that your mind, you are more apt at being able to pick up anything else that you might not be familiar with. So that just kind of gives you an idea right there on some of the software languages that we use. Okay, any questions? We're doing good, Cam. Next one. See if I get a delay this time.
It's there.
Yeah. Oh, yay, that was better.
Good.
Okay, guys. So on our staff. So this alone is just our staff. You guys can see on the side, our group alone is about 1,700 in personnel. Now, when I say that as well too, Hill Air Force Base in general, just for you guys to know, since you're coming in from Colorado, we are primarily, the majority of our base is civilian workers. We outnumber our military on the base. And with that, then I kind of like to think is the military is our customer. They're the ones that we take care of. They're the ones that come with us with their problems, with their projects. And it's really, really cool when they do that. We have this theater that we meet with the pilots, and they come into our software coders and they'll be like, hey, you guys, here's what my problem is with my F-16. And, you know, it would be so much better if you guys can kind of do this. And you guys would sit there and you listen to them talk and they're explaining what's wrong. And some of the pilots, if you ever seen them, they get out like their hands, or they have these little models that they even kind of start showing on how they move and what flight they're talking about and all this. And you guys get together with this brainstorming. And then you guys go off and you do your coding. And then even from there, then you can go in and you're going to come up with a code to hopefully solve their problems. And in there, then after that, we have a F-16 flight simulator. And you guys can program your code for what that's going to do.
Did we lose Deb?
I think we did, Cammie.
Okay, all right. Well, I think that was about wrapping it up. This is just showing our specific group that are engineers and computer scientists. You guys are our bread and butter.
And I mean, you know, when a pilot walks into a room.
Sorry, Deb, we lost you for a minute.
Oh, man. Okay. As a pilot, though, can you hear me now, Cam?
Yep.
Okay. So pilots are pretty high up there. But, you know, we all kind of look at them and say how amazing they are, and they are. But our pilots always say that it's our coders that they actually put up on high pillars there on how great they are. So you guys can see the majority of our workforce, 69% is people just like you guys. That's how important you are to us. The rest of our little pie graph over there is just the bits and pieces that help support, basically help support you and help support our pilots. And I think that's it for me.
Okay.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, Deb. So we're going to move on to our hiring need and just kind of the benefits and why we think you should come and work for us. And I'm going to let Heather take over on that one. And she does have a cool video that will actually work. So, all right, take it away, Heather.
Hey, Colorado. Just a side note, I hear that maybe the Broncos picked up some good people in the draft. There's a guy on our team who's a big Broncos fan, and anyway, kind of happy for you guys. I am an East Coast girl, so I am a New York Giants fan. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear talk about that. But anyway, and this is just something I wanted you guys to be aware of, that our group, our hiring need for the next, now get this, the next 5 to 10 years is to hire 200 to 300 computer scientists and engineers every year. So think about that. We have to hire 300 of you every year the next 5 to 10 years. So our hiring need is ginormous. And Elizabeth, I took note when you were talking about how you have been interning with Space Camp. Well, we have the equivalent of ski camp right here in our engineering group, right here in our group. So SWEG has that Platform 1 ski camp. And so they are currently hiring. So I just wanted you to know that we have that camp version or Space Camp version here in Utah known as ski camp. So kind of cool. We could talk about that a little bit later. So my video I want to show you guys is kind of goes along with some of the projects that our group is currently, we've been doing for the past few years. And are you at that video yet? Because I don't have it on my screen.
Yeah, you tell me when you want me to hit play.
Well, is it on the screen?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. But anyway, So
It's on my screen.
oh, there it is. Okay.
I see it now.
So before I tell you about this, this is an actual one of the software projects that we have in our group. Of that 1,700 that Deb showed you, this is, or out of the 1,700 employees and the 100 projects, this is one of the projects that we are currently doing. So in this video, you're going to be looking at it from the perspective of, as what you see right here, Sully 2. Now, Sully 2, you'll be looking at his heads-up display, or we call it the HUD. So it's his camera footage. And Sully 2 is a student pilot in the number 2 F-16 training mission. So he's a student learning how to fly, and he's the number 2 F-16 spot. His leader is the voice you will hear, and the leader is the instructor pilot, and he's known as Sully 1. And so you can hear him over the radio. So part of this whole setup with these training maneuvers, fighter pilots will do a GX or a G awareness exercise to see if the pilot is feeling well that day. Okay, we want to make sure that they have their normal G tolerance. Well, guess what? Sully 2 is not having a good day, and you're going to see in this video how he does not have a good day. So the flight starts with the GX. So he's actually doing that hard left turn at a high G force. Student pilot is having that bad day, and he does what we call, he G locks, which is a G, it's an induced loss of consciousness. Loss of consciousness, that's the lock, okay? The G lock. So he goes unconscious. And so the instructor pilot sees what's happening as number 2, and when you see his HUD, that heads-up display on the right, you're going to see an arrow, and you're going to see his altitude begin to drop. You'll see these numbers spin lower and lower and lower, and it begins to accelerate. So his plane is actually pointing downward, and it begins to accelerate. So get this, the pilot's unconscious, okay? So after the G-lock, you can see quickly that the situation, it escalates, and it could almost become unrecoverable. And actually, we've had many, many pilots die this way. You can hear the instructor pilot's voice over the radio. Remember, that's Sully 1. He's directing the student to recover. You'll hear him say, recover. And then the auto GCAS becomes active on the aircraft, and you can see how it automatically will recover the F-16 without any action. I wish you could see me describing this with my hands right now. With any action from the incapacitated pilot. It's so stinking cool. So let's see if we can watch it. And again, if we can't get a good read on this, I can kind of explain it again, and actually our role, what we do in our group for this program. So let's see what happens.
Okay, I'll push play, and then I will try with my arrow, I will point out the altitude so you can see that number, because you'll see how fast it goes down once he loses consciousness. And you can actually hear his breathing kind of change. So you can almost hear when he goes out and when he regains consciousness. So hopefully we can hear this okay. So tell me to stop if you can't hear it, okay? Oh, sorry guys, it looks like it was a little choppy for you. Did you see my arrow where the altitude was?
I think maybe we can put that link or we can find it. You can actually Google this, Sully2 GCAS on YouTube, and you can see the same video. So it'd be something really cool to possibly look at after this. Let me tell you why this is so cool is because we have a huge role in this program. It has been, this auto GCAS has been incorporated into the Block 4050 F-16 and is being added to the Block 30 F-16s now for the Guard and the Reserve. Our SWEG will design, code, and document and test all aspects of the auto GCAS for the F-16. It is a very, very important piece of software designed to preserve an aircraft and safeguard our pilots' lives. It is an example of the kind of work that SWEG does every day. The thing that I wanted to let you know that our senior leaders have credited this auto GCAS, and this was a few years ago, and I think this number is not up to date, but with 9 lives that have been saved. So that includes, of course, the pilot and the aircraft. So it's pretty awesome. But that is just one little visual. And again, sorry about the delay and everything, but if you do want to go after and view this on your YouTube and on your own server, please do so. And if you have any questions, we'll have a contact info about that after. So that was kind of exciting, but another great thing that I wanted to tell you about, and I'm not sure, I know that the government and military is a big deal there in Colorado, but so I'd like to just share a few of my favorite benefits. And I don't know if you're thinking about this at this point in your lives, about how important not only is a job, but also the benefits that a job can provide. What Debbie said earlier, that during this whole time of the COVID-19, we have been studying our course. We have not missed a beat. We have not worked. So our stability as far as our jobs, our positions here, it's been there. And I am so grateful that I still have a job and that I know I am not going to be laid off or let go because of the government stability. I'm so thankful for that. We have compensation for overtime. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. We know that private industry can offer you a lot of money. All right, we know that. We know that also they will expect, because you have a great salary, you're going to probably have to work not just your 40 hours a week, but probably 60 to 70. And you will not get compensated. Some jobs may, I'm sure there are, but here in our group, you are compensated for every hour over the 40 hours that you work. That's pretty awesome. That's a great benefit. We have 10 paid days of holiday leave. So pretty awesome. We get Columbus Day off. So that's a great thing. We have an incredible assortment of healthcare benefits, dental and vision. That's a big deal. We offer all of those. And that's just something that we offer. Our vacation and our sick leave is separate. So a lot of companies have their vacation and their sick leave as just personal leave. Well, ours is separate, and you accrue that with every pay period, and we do get paid 2 times a month. So if there's questions, we can talk about that later, but let's go to the next slide, and I will tell you why this job is so fun. So the one thing that I like being a mother with kids is I love the flexible work schedules. I had a son that played baseball last year in high school, and I was on a schedule where it's called a flex schedule, actually. And if I knew I had to leave work at 2:30 to go to a game that was an hour away, I was able to come into work an hour or 2 earlier, right, than my normal time. And I was able to leave at 2:30 without missing any of my hours or having to take personal leave. So we have a very flexible schedule. We have regular straight 8s. We have, in some of our groups, you can work 4 4-10s, like Monday through Thursday, and work your 10 hours, and you have every Friday off, which is awesome. Or you can work like a 5-4-9 schedule where you get every other Friday off. So it's pretty awesome. We truly believe in a work-life balance in our job, and we want you. We know our work is very important, but going home and being with our family is important as well. And we don't have to take our work home with us, which is pretty darn cool. We have lots of wingman activities. We have a lot of fun. We go bowling. We go to movies, fun things like that. We've got an awesome golf course on base, which is an amazing one. Lots of fun things that we do. We've got discounted tickets. We have our big ski place here is Snow Basin, and then we've got some down south where a lot of the Olympics took place back in 2001. There's discounted tickets for skiing, movies, traveling. There's places like in Hawaii that as a government employee, you can have a discounted rate, condos and places like that. We have a world-class fitness center, which is amazing, multi-million-dollar fitness center. And I'm assuming that the careers that you have chosen, the degrees that you have chosen, I would assume you like challenges, and I would assume that you like problem solving. And that we do offer. You're constantly offering and dealing with challenges and problem solving every single day. And you know what? You're never, ever left alone. We have training that we provide for free, which is really, really cool, whether it be on-base training or whether you take a class with Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or leadership and self-deception training. Whatever it is, there's constant training, whether you need to be up on your C++ training or C# or Java or Python, whatever it is, you're never left alone, and there's always that training option. So it's a lot of fun, and I love working with the ladies that I work with and the teams that and the supervisors that we're able to assist in hiring and recruiting. And so it is a lot of fun. So if there's any questions, let me know in the chat. If not, then I guess we're going to move on.
Okay, so this is our email. If you are interested, this is our contact information. You can send your resume in.